Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be narcissistic abuse, what people don't see. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So this is going to be a little more challenging video to create. It will be a part one of a two-part mini-series. The second part I will shoot in a few moments after this video, and that will be released later this evening. And you'll know why when you watch the video. So I'll jump right into it. So narcissistic abuse, what people don't see. You're on the channel, you are getting educated, you are becoming awakened and aware, and you understand that the relationship that you were a part of, or perhaps you are still a part of, was a narcissistic relationship. This relationship has changed you forever. You no longer are you the person you used to be, and I'll jump into that in a moment. This is unlike any relationship that you've ever experienced. Let's zoom out for a moment. You weren't taught narcissism in school. I mention that frequently on the channel. And it is my moonshot to raise awareness and to continue to raise awareness, perhaps at the high school level or collegiate level, any way I can to expand the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle. Now, getting into it, what people don't see is how you are being treated behind the scenes, behind closed doors. They don't know that you're experiencing rage fits, that you are experiencing the silent treatment, that you are experiencing gaslighting. Now, gaslighting is a very popular term, specifically last year, and more people not only not now know what it is, but unfortunately, people are weaponizing that, and that behavior is spreading more and more. It really is. It's ingrained in today's culture. But what people don't see are you behind the scenes. They don't see you trying to figure out how you can please this individual who turned out to be the narcissist. They don't see you working literally and figuratively for the relationship. What they do see is they see the exterior, the shell of the relationship that you were in. They just see the outside, and they say to themselves, wow, that person's fortunate, they've got such a great spouse, or what a great relationship these two have. Let's say it's a couple as an example, but it's not exclusive to a couple, we know that. They only see the outside because they don't spend much time with you, getting to know exactly the inner workings of what the battles are that you're going through. And again, many times people don't want to hear your issues or concerns. With narcissistic abuse specifically, many people can't even wrap their heads around it. Even you veterans on the channel who have been through the fire, even you know there are challenging times that you are perhaps doing your day-to-day activities and you just pause, you stop, and you say, are you kidding me? Is that really what happened? It is. It's really what happened. And this is a mental battle that you will be going through for the rest of your life. Meaning, of course, now my hope is you've healed, or you are well on the healing path. You're getting the education, you're coupling it with your experience, which equals wisdom. You're putting boundaries in place. You're not a people pleaser. You've gone no contact block the narcissist, removed all people and or flying monkeys associated with them. And my hope is you're living your best life. But if that's not you yet, it will be in time. And the people that don't see what you're going through, that's a huge list. It's actually probably most people in your life. Maybe your siblings or your parents or your friends. They can't wrap their head around what you're dealing with, and they will just say things like, oh, get over it, it's no big deal, just go start dating again, or no big thing, they didn't mean that, they were just joking, or toughen up, whatever. Everyone puts up with their poor behavior. They will say things like that, and they will discount your experience. Now keep in mind, you are you, I am me. The way we all take things are differently on the planet. In other words, perhaps you have a high threshold for a certain factor, and your threshold is higher than mine. I get it. Not everyone is built the same, nor should everyone be treated with a lack of respect or understanding. But that's exactly how the narcissistic relationship is. You are not listened to, you're not respected, and you're certainly not valued. You're taken for granted. And these are the things that people don't see. They don't see how you're being treated. They don't see how you are being financially abused. They don't see how you are being invalidated. They don't see all the work that you put in behind the scenes to maintain the relationship, essentially to keep it afloat, while the narcissist was out gallivanting the globe looking for other sources of supply or your replacement. Now, I'm not saying that lightly, it's true. What happens many times is the stable individual, which is you in the relationship, you're juggling so many things. Perhaps you're juggling a full-time job, children, balancing the finances for the house, planning vacations, cooking, cleaning, taking care of yourself, which certainly was not high on the list. And all of this, not even counting your number one focus, which is what, or was what? It was to appease and or please the narcissist. That's what you were doing. And you were doing it to the detriment of yourself and to the benefit of the narcissist. This is another thing that people don't see. They don't see the way you're being treated. And if they do experience a little poor behavior from the narcissist, they'll just say, oh, they just, they had a bad day. It's no big deal. Let's move on. It's nothing. That's exactly how the narcissist wants other individuals to see them. They want the narcissists, remember, they surround themselves with enablers, with people that are on the flying monkey train. In other words, people that will tolerate their poor behavior. And there are many reasons why that happens. One is perhaps these flying monkeys or people don't want to be the next target. Two, they're fooled. They're totally believing in the mask. Or three, they just flat out don't care. They don't think that there's any issue with poor behavior. Any or all of these reasons are not a reason to be around a narcissist. We now know that any narcissist in your life is one narcissist too many. That is exactly why we have boundaries, etc. But what people don't see are the sleepless nights that you've endured, the tears you've shed, the isolation you have experienced, whether it was on purpose. In other words, let's say you got discarded. Well, there's a huge period of time there where you have trust concerns and or trust issues, and perhaps you didn't and or don't want to go out and venture into the world. Believe me, I get it. I was there. I understand exactly what that's like, but people don't see that. What they see is their day-to-day life, and they perhaps aren't seeing you out and about, and they're just saying, oh, it's no big thing, they'll be okay. No, that's not the way it works. The way it works is you're isolated because you are self-isolating. Another side of that coin is if you got discarded, well, you found out quickly who your friends were and who would be there for you, which was few and far between. In other words, there were very few individuals who were there checking up on you, if any. But these people have their own lives, and they don't think that what you went through was what you went through. They just think it was a breakup, no big thing, let's move on. It's like, what's the big deal? It's a huge deal. These are the things that people don't see. They don't see what you're experiencing. They don't see you. Pay attention to this part of the video. They don't see you trying to break the trauma bond. They don't see you watching videos, journaling, meditating, seeing a qualified therapist. They don't see you introspecting. They don't see you healing childhood wounds. They don't see you developing. And you, let's say this, I created a video called The Cocoon of Boundaries not too long ago. That is exactly perhaps where you are and or were. And what that means is post-narcissistic relationship, you have healing to go through. You have a mountain of work in front of you. You may not even know how much work you have in front of you. I didn't. I do know now though how much it requires, because you are now on the healing path, and it takes time, and in your time you will heal, you will process things. But this has to be narcissist free. It's got to be when you invest in yourself and you put yourself first, second, and third. This is instrumental, but no one sees what you're going through. No one sees exactly the behaviors and the range of emotions that you're going through. They don't see you crying. They don't see you shedding tears. They don't see you experiencing the angry stage. They don't see you experiencing in disbelief that that relationship was what it was. What they see is an individual who is simply going through a breakup or the ending of a relationship. They can't wrap their head around what you went through. And it takes so many people, literally months to years to decades, to wrap their head around the relationship. Now, my hope is that's not you. My hope is you've healed and or you are well on the healing path, like I mentioned earlier. All of this is contingent upon how much work you place in yourself. But this work that you're placing in yourself, like I have done and continue to do, it's something that nobody sees. Example here on the channel. Let's say someone new joins the channel. Many people don't even know that I lived in Costa Rica for 21 years. Other people just think that perhaps I didn't experience toxicity to the level I did. I did, and I did. But what did I do? I put myself back together. I processed things. I healed. I introspected during one of the most challenging times known to humankind during C-19. I had a perfect window, a perfect opportunity to heal myself, which is what I did. Not many people get that opportunity. They really don't, especially now that there's no quarantine, which means now people can walk about the planet freely, at least for the most part, and that you don't have to wear a mask, etc., all those things. But back then we did, and there was curfew, and you couldn't do certain things, which is exactly what allowed me to heal in my cocoon at such a rapid rate than most people. That's for a whole different video. It's for when I speak live and tour the country and the globe and share my experiences in more detail. That is to let you know, though, no one saw what I was doing. Nobody saw what I was going through. No one's looking at you. No one knows what you're going through. The narcissist certainly doesn't. What the narcissist thinks, if you are still in the relationship and or looking to exit it, they don't believe that you're getting educated. They don't believe you're getting strong. They don't believe that you're healing. They don't believe that you are having an exit plan or you've already had an exit plan. They don't believe that you're beginning to live your best life. They don't believe anything other than what they want to believe, which is that they believed, with a D, that they owned you and that you would be an indentured servant for the body of the relationship, which essentially is what you were. You just didn't know it. But what narcissistic relationship, what people don't see, they don't see all of the struggles, the day-to-days, the healing path, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, how you could be triggered with just listening to a song. They don't see the firsts. Example, maybe you're flying on your first airplane ride today, and the first time in years, but you're going by yourself because you're about to conquer the narcissistic relationship. Well, that's one of the firsts. I created a video on that also. Maybe you're going through the lasts. Example, let's say that you just sold your house. Well, and that was the house you lived in with the narcissist and or a family. Well, that's a last, which means you sold your house, you won't be living there any longer. Those memories, the walls that you created memories with of all the birthdays, the holidays, the events, the barbecues, those are now in the past where they should be. But no longer do you have to live in isolation in that house. Those are the lasts, or the last time you say goodbye to somebody. Again, the people don't see, what people don't see are the firsts, the lasts, the experiences, the raw emotions that you have gone through, the body of the relationship for what it was and or is. They don't see that. What most people see is simply the exterior, and they see what they want to see many times. Understand this message. It is so clear to see when you come through the fire and you've risen through the ashes like a phoenix. You understand that not only are you the priority, but that so many people are still living in the everyday fog. They just don't get it, and that is okay. I too lived in the everyday fog. I also lived in the narcissistic fog. Neither are a pleasant experience for me. I would not want to be in either of them these days, specifically the narcissistic fog. That's when you're in the trance-like state and you don't know what's going on. You don't know if you're coming or going. You just know that your bank account is going to zero, or maybe you're in debt now. Your health is taking a hit, and your resources are being depleted, and the narcissist is getting supply right in front of you or behind your back, but they're present with you less and less and less because they see how weak you are getting physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, intellectually, if I said that. They see how they have crushed you and depleted your resources. So they are looking for your replacement ASAP. It's exactly what they're doing, and that's what they do. Not just to you or to myself, but to other unsuspecting individuals who don't get the wisdom. So narcissistic relationship, what people don't see, they don't see everything you're going through. They don't see the changes that you are going through. They will in time. I'm talking about healthy, stable individuals that you choose to keep in your life. People that have known you in the past, they will see a change in time once you've healed properly, because they will see how you are selective with your words. Notice how I use my words very cautiously and wisely. I would suggest you do the same. Also, another tip for you here would be to use positive words about yourself and or anything you are communicating with another individual. Words are extremely powerful. To illustrate that, think about when you were in the relationship with the narcissist. Did you experience rage fits? Did you experience the verbal abuse? Of course you did. That and so much more. Gaslighting? Think about it. This was all on purpose. It was all meant to take you down with them on the low vibrational state, basically in the quagmire. That's where they wanted you. And again, that's where you were for a period of time. But here's another thing that people don't see. They don't see how you lifted yourself up. They didn't see how resilient you are and or would become. They didn't see how strong you were and or are. They didn't see all of the body of work that you placed into yourself post-narcissistic relationship. Remember, many people go through these relationships and they don't get the wisdom. You're getting it. You are becoming awakened and aware. This is a great thing. But many people don't get the wisdom. They just don't type in Google, or they don't type in YouTube a certain keyword and boom, you find my channel. Other ways people find out what's going on is maybe just by talking with somebody that they're getting a service done from, like They're talking to a dentist or someone who cuts their hair or something, and that will be conversation, which leads down the rabbit hole to awareness for narcissistic abuse. The point being is this, is no one sees what you are going through. Not your kids, not your spouse, not your relatives, not your coworkers, which I'll talk about in a moment, not your neighbors, nobody. They just think that you're doing okay. Coworker, here's another challenging part for you. Let's say that you're in the narcissistic relationship, or it ended, whichever way you want to call this one. Well, you still have to go to work. And if you're going in the office to a physical location, that is challenging to say the least, because number one, you're going to work, and many people don't like work. Many people do, but many people don't. But the point is, not only are you having to perform at a high level at work, but you now are battling the demons inside your mind of the narcissistic relationship, whether you're in it or it's post and you're healing. That's a whole different battle. No one sees that. So that's why many times when you would be at work, perhaps you wouldn't grab lunch with your coworkers, because it was safer and better for you to be alone and grabbing lunch somewhere else at a different location. Why? Because A, you probably didn't want to discuss things with them because they wouldn't understand. B, you were trying to process it yourself. And C, you just didn't want to be around people. There are so many layers to narcissistic abuse, but what people don't see, they do not see how courageous you are. They do not see how strong you are. They do not see how you've come through the battle. You've done it. You found that needle in a haystack. You found my channel. You're getting the wisdom. You're coupling your experiences and your education with those in the community, and you're becoming galvanized. You're entering the third version of you. This is beautiful. Remember when I tell you this, people don't see what you're doing until the final product is ready. In other words, I will go back to myself for a moment. When I was healing, when I was journaling, when I was crying, all the things I went through, nobody was there to comfort me. I was doing it on my own. Am I a human being? Yes, that's what I am. Am I special? Absolutely not. I'm just like you are. But the point is, I did the hard work. I did the heavy lifting. I did the introspection with nobody around. And if I can do it, you can do it. You need to be determined. You need to be focused. You need to be steadfast. And you need to understand that you can and you will do this. So understand the message. Narcissistic abuse, what people don't see, they don't see hardly anything about what you're going through. They really don't. That's why your average human being can't wrap their head around it. Unless they experienced it, they flat out can't wrap their head around it. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this is a part one of a part two mini-series. I will shoot the next video in a few moments at a different location. And please watch and subscribe and share these videos with anybody you believe they can benefit. The idea is to pay it forward. For those of us veterans on the channel who have conquered the narcissistic abusive cycle, we need to help out the newbies, because at one point, we too were a newbie without the information. That's why this is so valuable. I'll see you guys in a few moments. I'm going to shoot the next video. God bless you. I love you. Remember, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. You are not alone. I love you. God bless you. Stay focused on yourself. Live in the present moment. God bless you. I'll talk to you very soon. All right. Bye.